Alright, so while Jen puts Logan in bed, what I usually do at bedtime is I go across the street and muck out the stalls. So that's what we're gonna do now. I'll show you how we do that. I like to keep everything really clean because I feel like the animals don't have a choice of where they get to stay. They're just, you know, told to stay where they stay. I'm sorry, it's pretty dark out. It's getting dark early now. We're in mid-September. We get in the barn, we'll turn the lights on here. Okay, I just like to keep the door closed. This is the inside of my barn. We're not sure exactly when the barn was built. The previous owner told us that he traced the property back all the way to like 1780 something. And the only record that they had with adding the garage on here was in 1910 they added the garage on. The property dates back to the 1780s. But there's no records of any buildings ever being built. This is all timber frame construction. They're all hand-hewn beams. You can see the axe marks. Let me show you. These are all the axe marks from being hand-hewn. And I love that. It just adds so much character to the structure, I think. And I don't know if I told you this in the last video, but we built our chicken coop in here, and we also did it timber frame style. I would love to be able to build a building like this one day. That's a mortise that's open. One day I'm going to hand hew two 12-foot beams, and we're going to connect. We're going to put this back here with a scarf joint in the middle, kind of like this one is here. This one right here, as you can see. We're going to replicate that and put it here between this mortise and that mortise, because I want to put the hayloft back up here. Right now the hay is in the basement of the barn, and I don't really like it down there where the hay is. We're gonna turn that into a milking parlor. That's my old farm truck. Now we'll take you downstairs and show you downstairs. And here's where we have the hay stored right now. The previous owner really took great care of this whole barn. You can see all the beams under here where my truck's parked. Very heavy duty. These are almost 12 by 12s. And we will need to get some more hay for this year. That's a little bit left over from last year. We have 3 stalls down here. I put these fans in last summer. There's a fan here and a fan in the bar stall there. This stall here I'm not currently using, but I have all those fans controlled by a thermostat, so when it gets cool enough they'll turn off automatically. It should probably be off now, but yeah, there they go. They're right, just about ready to turn off. We're gonna leave them on for me. And it's got this really beautiful patio type setup outside here, all really lit up nicely. Over here is where I keep my bedding under this nice little cover. That works out excellent for keeping the bedding, putting compost. Right now I have a small compost pile right over here. You can't really see it because it's dark. But yeah, so we'll grab my pitchfork and we'll get going. For bedding, I just use mulch. I can get this at the local dump for $5 a yard. It's free if I put it in my truck myself, but for $5 a yard, I mean, for 10 bucks I can get a heaping truck full of this, and it lasts me about 3 months. So, and you can see it stays nice. It really helps keep the smell out. It just smells like mulch down in the bottom of the barn, which is great. It's way better than a urine smell. So, and you can see the fans there. They work awesome. The animals are in here all day. And as the bedding here gets wet, I just scoop out what needs to be scooped out, throw it in the compost pile, and put some fresh bedding down, and it's good to go. It's really very simple. And you can see how clean this stays. I hadn't cleaned this out yet. I just put new bedding in here last night for them. And yeah, this far stall over here is always a mess. We get, when it rains, it's this one, all these other stalls have concrete on the bottom of them. That one's the only one that's still dirt. So that one, we might put something down, we probably won't. But so that one's just a little muddier than the rest of them. They spend a lot more time in here. We only have 4 sheep and the 1 beef steer. Right now we have 4 baby doll sheep that we use just for fiber. This over here is just, it's a hay bin we built. I built that 2 years ago when we first got the sheep. It's worked great. It's just big enough for the sheep to get in there and eat the hay. The cow's big enough where he can come in and he can eat the hay right out of the top of it. There's no hay in there now because they won't even eat it. They eat the pasture. And we've got 2.5 acres over here of nice pasture. You're not going to see it now because it's so dark. But yeah. And then this stall over here, it's dirtier. You can see the concrete right there. It's a very thick concrete floor. And then over here, eventually I'm going to put 2 windows or 3 windows in, just to get a little more light. We could open them up for a little ventilation. It'd be nice. So yeah, mucking today's easy for me. Luckily, some days it's not so easy. Looks like we just have one little pile here. We'll scoop that up and get that out of here. And when it's just one little pile like that, I don't bother throwing it in the compost pile. I just spread it in the field. That works just as well. Here's one of our sheep right here. I'll zoom in, see if we can see him. I don't think we're going to, because it is just so dark. The fall's coming, that's for sure. Yeah. He's a white sheep too. He's the only white one we have. We have 3 black or brown sheep, 1 white one. Yeah, we're not going to get to see him tonight. Oh, there you go. That's actually a little bit better. You can see, I think that's a rock. There's a sheep, and then there's white legs way in the back. That's our beef steer, Cecil. He's a Holstein steer that we got at a week old. We got him at a week old, and we bottle fed him for a while. And the last thing I do is make sure they have plenty of water. I have a 40-gallon bin over here and another well with an electric pump in the bottom. There we go. So this is my little well house. There's the well. There's an electric pump in the bottom of it. The well's only 16 feet deep with the hand dug well. We'll just top that off. And you can hear the electric fence just barely clicking. And there's no lights. That means it's shorted out. This just happened recently. I was out here earlier this afternoon and this was fine. So we're going to have to fix that tomorrow. Luckily the animals aren't smart enough to know. They're not smart enough to know when the sheep is on, or when the fence is on or off. Alright, so that's it. That's pretty much the day. Typical day on our smaller farmstead. So we get up in the morning. First thing we do is let the chickens out. We feed the chickens. make sure they have water. Second thing I do is come over here, make sure everybody over here is doing good. Make sure they have plenty of water. I do that twice a day. And then I go to work, come home, check on them one more time, and that's pretty much it. Jen doesn't have to do a whole lot with them, which is good because she's busy with our almost 2-year-old son Logan, and she's got we've got twins on the way. So she's 22 weeks pregnant with twins, and they say 28 weeks is considered full term for one baby. So 28 weeks, they're saying she's gonna be like as if she's full term. So we're just a few weeks away from that, and I'm sure she's not gonna want to do a whole lot of anything at that point, which is why we're just keeping it small. We're gonna have Cecil, our beef steer is named Cecil. We're gonna have him butchered probably end of November, beginning of December. He'll be about 14 months old then. So I think that's a pretty good time to have him butchered. He won't be eating too much hay at that point, because we pretty much raised him. Once we got him off the bottle on the pasture, we didn't give him any more feed. He didn't need it. He's growing great on the pasture. There's plenty of pasture for him here and the sheep. Eventually, probably next spring, we're gonna get a family milk cow, and we'll take you through that too. We've never had a family milk cow before. Neither Jen or I have come from a farming background. We're just doing this. We want to take control of our food. We want to know what's going into our food. We want our kids to know where our food comes from. We think that's important. So many people say, like, oh, you're gonna butcher Cecil, but what are you gonna do with all the bacon? They don't know. They don't know that you don't get bacon from a cow. You get bacon from a pig. It's sad to know that nobody has any idea where their food comes from, or almost no. I shouldn't say nobody, but so many people don't have any idea where their food comes from, and I think that's a shame. And I don't want to raise my kids like that. I want them to know, what it's like to butcher a chicken, which we're going to be doing that soon. In the next couple of videos, we're going to be butchering one of our chickens. He's a rooster. We got him for free, which worked out good. I thought he was a purebred Welsummer, which he's not. But you get what you pay for, so that's fine. He gave us 6 chicks this year. That 2 of them look like they're roosters, so we're probably going to butcher them as well. But he's got to go very soon, because we're getting 2 roosters and 4 hens, all purebred Welsummers from a lady in central New Jersey. We're going to pick them up on October 15th at a local poultry show that she's going to. So we'll take you along for that. I don't know how much of that we'll be able to videotape, but that's a few weeks off yet. It's only the 20th of September right now. So, but yeah. So that's what we've got going on. And we're gonna take you guys along the way, and you're gonna see everything firsthand. Like I said, neither me or Jen have a farming background. I've never butchered an animal before, but we're going to probably next weekend or the weekend after. So the next week or 2, we're going to be butchering one of our chickens for the first time, and you'll be right there with us. So we'll catch you on the next video.